Part 2. I left off on condoms. I left off on a lot of things because of the simple fact that things don't tend to flow out my mouth the way I intended them to sometimes. And I haven't left to the bus stop yet, just in case you're wondering. I'm going to give you 5 more minutes, and then that's pretty much the gist of it. We as people, regardless of your ethnicity, we tend to want the best for our children, but we can't teach our children to want the best for themselves, so they pick these asshats that don't want nothing from them but a rump in the sack, and then go on about their business. Oh, I knocked you up. Oh, you got to prove it. Oh, thank God there's Maury. As long as we keep raising our kids to not see the value of themselves, we're going to keep having these problems. And people get mad at me because I'm honest. People get mad at me because the things that fly out my mouth are not kosher. You have every right to be mad at me for the shit that flies out my mouth that's not kosher. I get it. I understand. But if you haven't been there, if you haven't suffered because of other people's mistakes, you have no fucking idea the shit I've gone through because of other people's inability to see value in themselves and to just settle for some thug motherfucker or some person pretending to be a man when they're just a boy and don't want to do the fucking job as men to step up. I'm 44 years old and I haven't accomplished anything in my life outside of taking care of other people's kids and lack of responsibility by the people they've chosen to procreate with. I'm 44 years old. I haven't gotten to go out and get my dream career because I've had to take care of every fucking body else because other people just refuse to step the fuck up. I started this thing talking about race, and by that I mean most of the things that I've dealt with. I'm pretty sure that if my sisters or anyone has dated someone out of their race, they've actually probably had a better relationship because statistics have shown that interracial relationships tend to last longer than same-race relationships. Interracial children, the only thing they have is the confusion of other people. Alright? Let me explain that. See, when I had my race war back in grade school, there was a divide. And that was before we found out I was Native American. They were like, well, James, whose side are you going to fight on? You can fight on the black side. You can fight on the white side. But you're not really going to be white, so they don't trust you. And you are black, because one drop of black blood makes you black, but the blacks don't trust you either. So you're pretty much in a conundrum. Or what we like to call in the military was a clusterfuck. And then when it got into the fact that I found out I was Native American, thank you, Miss Conrad. I'm not thanking you for this ass whoopings you got me, but thank you for helping me find my heritage. It only got worse from there. Then as I gone through life, everyone's like, oh, well, he's not just black and white. He's also those people that run around in burlap sacks and shit and all that crap. And, I never really let it get to me. But I've heard all the racial stereotypes. I've heard all the half-breed jokes. Believe me, I've heard all the half-breed jokes. I've learned to accept them and deal with it and move forward. But the problem is really quite simple. If we don't teach the children the half-breed jokes, if we don't pick on people, most people who are mixed were born out of love that was probably forbidden, or the sad, unfortunate crime of rape, because someone just had to have her. You rarely see women going around raping men and getting pregnant, alright? So let's just call that what it is. And that being said, a lot of people don't want to take responsibility for their actions. But when it comes down to being a racist, when it comes down to racially setting standards, we all do it. Either subconsciously or consciously, we all do it. Because I'm pretty sure that there's been some time where somebody has walked past you and done you the way I've done, and my dumb ass, I honestly owned it. I said, I should not have said it, but I shouted out, I will be the same nigga that saves your ass. Even though she went way out of her way to avoid me because she thought that I was going to cut her. And the funny thing about that whole story was that this young, pretty white lady who didn't know what I was walked on the side of the street where generally all the dark people of color hang. She walked on the side of the street where males is. And males, if you're from Charlottesville, you know that everybody eats there. Doesn't matter what fucking color you are. Everybody eats there. Everybody's eating there or ate there or something next to the hair cuttery place. So, this happened before the big CF and that happened a year or so back. But the thing was, all she had to do was just walk past me. First off, we're in the daytime. I'm not stupid enough to commit a crime in the daytime, and especially on a white woman. But she didn't see it that way. But she also didn't know what I was. She didn't know if I was black, She didn't know if I was Mexican. She just assumed that I was going to hurt her. And that's the part that hurt. And that's why I said what I said. I shouldn't have. I should have just kept walking. I should have took the high ground. Taking the high ground is the hardest part of anything when race is involved. But when y'all look in that mirror and you think back to all the things you've done to someone or said to someone or have said to you because of your race, we don't reflect. And then we don't think that, those people there are afraid of us. But we aren't afraid of people who look like us. And the people who look like us will be the first ones to stab us in the back. As Julius Caesar has proven, see, I brought all these back around the circle to Julius Caesar. As Julius Caesar has proven that even the people who look like you will be willing to kill you out of greed, out of money, out of anything. And when you trust people too much, you wind up being the victim of your own success. So, I'm not saying you can't trust people. I'm just saying be aware that you are in just as much danger from people who look like you than the people who don't. I'm more likely to get killed by a black person than a white person. Honestly, truly to God. I'm more likely to be killed by a black person than a white person. But if I am killed by a white person, it's going to be like water off a duck's bridge. If I'm killed by a black person, it's going to be less than that. Because they'll be like, well, black on black crime, two birds with one stone. One motherfucker's dead. Well, I lock the other one up for the rest of his life. We don't even give a fuck what happened. We don't care that maybe James walked over there and spit in the guy's face. Or maybe James walked over, whipped out his dick and pissed down the guy's throat. We don't care about that. He's black. That guy's black. He killed James. We lock him up. We're good to go. Now, if I killed a white man, it'd be a big clusterfuck, a big stink, and it'll be all about race. They wouldn't even care that maybe the guy pulled the blade on me, or maybe the guy pulled the gun on me, or maybe I put the gun on that guy, or maybe I put the blade on that guy. You have to weigh the pros and cons on both sides. I'm not a saint by any means, but I'm not going to go around killing people. I didn't take the oath of service to become a bad guy. Although some of the best bad guys are the good guys. So, it just depends on where you look at it. I mean, I say that because of the last 15 years of hearing things about churches and how preachers are having sex with altar boys. And I'm like, well, damn, if you're not safe in the house of God, you're not safe at all. So I want to end this with this. Where do we draw the line on humanity? Do we stop it at race? Do we stop it at gender? Do we stop it at lifestyles? What do we do? Here's what we do. First, we only see people as human. Wipe out the skin color, wipe out the lifestyle they lead, wipe out the gender. See people for who they are. Get to know them by name. And maybe, just maybe, make a few more friends and a lot less enemies. And that way we don't have to worry about aliens from outer space coming down to mass affect the shit out of us. I'm James Williams Jr. I hope I taught you something today. Be seeing you.